You ever bite into something that instantly takes you back in time? Maybe your grandma's pear preserves or a berry pie made from fruit picked right in the backyard. There's something about those old flavors, the ones that didn't come from a store, but from the earth, from hands that knew how to care for it. Now imagine a place where those flavors still exist. Not in some fancy food magazine or trendy farmer's market, but in the quiet, tucked-away homesteads of the Amish, where fruit grows like it used to, where every bite tells a story. I want to show you 10 fruits the Amish still grow, fruits you probably haven't seen in decades, maybe ever. And we'll talk about why they've held on to them, even when the rest of the world let them go. Medlar, Mespelis germanica. Now, here's a strange little thing. The medlar looks like an apple that gave up halfway through growing. Kinda wrinkled, with a brown skin and an open end like it's missing a cap. Most folks wouldn't touch it. But the Amish? They know its secret. You don't eat a medlar off the tree. You let it sit until it softens, what they call bledding. It starts to look like it's gone bad, but that's when it's perfect. The inside turns into the soft, spiced, almost caramel-like paste. Old-timers used to eat it with a spoon right out of the skin. Some Amish families still do. Others turn it into thick jams or add it to pies for a deep, warm flavor you just can't buy in stores. The medlar's been around since medieval times, and somehow it's still here, growing quietly in Amish orchards. Ground cherry, Physalis pruinosa. These little guys look like golden marbles wrapped in tissue paper. You peel back the husk, and inside is this yellow-orange fruit that tastes like vanilla met a pineapple. Ground cherries used to be a staple in home gardens, but they disappeared from most kitchens. Too fragile to ship, too unfamiliar for big stores. But the Amish never stopped planting them. You'll find them in pies, jams, and even canned in sweet syrup. But more than anything, they're a childhood treat. Amish kids snack on them right out of the husk, chasing each other barefoot through the grass with sticky fingers. It's a fruit that feels like summer, simple, sweet, and fleeting. Seckle pear. Not your big OL store-bought pears. Seckles are small, about the size of an egg, with green skin speckled red. But let me tell you, they pack more sweetness than any pear you've ever tasted. They call them sugar pears, and in Amish homes they're prized. They hold up beautifully when canned, especially whole in spice syrup. Some families pickle them. Others dry them and store them for winter. What makes the seckle special isn't just the taste. It's the memories of harvest days with baskets full to the brim, of grandma slicing them up for a pie that filled the whole house with the scent of cinnamon. Isn't it something how the Amish hold on to these flavors? It's like they're guarding old family stories, passed down in jars and pies. Pawpaw Simina triloba. If you've never had a pawpaw, you're not alone. Most folks haven't. But this fruit? It's native to the Midwest. Grows in shady woods, almost hidden. It looks a bit like a green potato, but when you open it up, oh man. The flesh is yellow and creamy, with a taste somewhere between banana, mango, and melon. Soft as custard. The problem? Pawpaws don't ship. They bruise easy and spoil fast, so you'll never see them at a grocery store. But in Amish country, they're gathered with care. Some families make pawpaw ice cream. Others bake it into soft breads. Many just eat it fresh, right off the tree. It's a fruit that doesn't ask for much, just a bit of patience. And in return, it gives a taste of the forest, wild and untouched. Black currant, Ribes nigrum. There was a time in America when you couldn't grow black currants, banned because they spread a tree disease. Most people forgot about them. But the Amish? They remembered. These little blackberries are tart, rich, and deeply flavorful. They're not a snacking fruit, you cook with them. Turn them into syrups, jellies, or old-fashioned medicinal tonics. Amish families grow them in tidy rows, tucked near the edge of their gardens. When the cold months come, black currant syrup becomes the go-to for colds and coughs. A spoonful in hot water, maybe with a bit of honey. It's not just a fruit, it's tradition and healing, and the quiet kind of wisdom that comes from listening to nature. Damson plum. The damson isn't a fruit that tries to impress. It's small, oval, and deep blue, almost black. And it's tart. Really tart. Not something you bite into unless you're ready. But cook it down with a bit of sugar, and it becomes magic. Thick, dark purple plum butter that spreads like velvet on warm bread. The Amish love damsons because they're hardy. The trees produce year after year with little fuss, and the fruit keeps well in preserves, turning simple meals into something special. You'll find rows of mason jars lined up in pantries, filled with damson jam, each one sealed with a story. Sometimes it feels like these old fruits are ghosts of another time. But the Amish never let them fade. They carry them forward, one season at a time. Quince, Sidonia oblonga. Ever seen a fruit that smells better than a bouquet of flowers? That's the quince. Looks like a misshapen pear, hard as a rock when raw. But once you cook it, it turns this beautiful pink and fills the house with the scent of roses and honey. The Amish use quince mostly for jelly. It's full of natural pectin, so it sets perfectly. And the taste? Tart, fragrant, and unlike anything else. It's an old fruit, one you'd find in pioneer homesteads. And for many Amish women, making quince jelly is a fall tradition. A ritual of sorts. The kind of thing you do with your daughters, teaching them by doing, not by talking. Mulberry. Now, here's one you might know, but haven't thought about in a while. Mulberries grow wild. The trees pop up in backyards, along fences, in forgotten corners. The Amish don't forget. When the berries ripen, they come fast and fall hard. Kids gather them in aprons. Mothers turn them into pies, syrups, and sometimes even wine. They're soft, sweet, and incredibly messy. But that's part of the fun. The mulberry doesn't care about appearances. It just shows up every summer like a good friend you didn't know you missed. Crabapple, heirloom varieties. Crabapples have gotten a bad rap. Too sour, too small, too much work. But ask an Amish farmer, and he'll tell you they're one of the best trees to have, especially the old kinds. Dolgo, chestnut, Whitney. These crabapples are full of flavor, perfect for cider, vinegar, and bright red jelly that practically glows in the jar. They grow strong, resist pests, and bloom with stunning flowers in the spring. They're not just useful, they're beautiful. And in Amish communities, beauty and function go hand in hand. Every fruit we've talked about so far, it's not just about taste. It's about how it fits into a life that's slower, simpler, and rooted in the seasons. Elderberry, Sambucus nigra. Last but never least, the elderberry. Grows in clusters, dark and almost black, drooping from big, bushy plants. Raw, they're too tart. But when cooked, they're medicine. Elderberry syrup is a winter staple, taken by the spoonful, mixed into tea, added to pancakes. The Amish grow them because they trust them, because the old ways worked, because you didn't run to the pharmacy every time someone sneezed. You walked to the pantry. And elderberries give back, season after season, quietly, steadily. The thing is, these fruits aren't rare because they're exotic. They're rare because we forgot them. We chased after convenience, shelf life, and profits. But the Amish, they stayed with the land, with the flavors that take time, the ones that don't always look perfect, but always taste like home. In every orchard row, there's a memory, a reason, a purpose, and a reminder that the best things in life often don't come wrapped in plastic. These fruits aren't just food. They're pieces of a world where family, tradition, and patience still matter. A world that doesn't rush the harvest, that takes joy in the jar, the pie, the spoonful. And maybe, just maybe, they're showing us that what's old doesn't have to be forgotten. It can be planted, tended, and tasted again and again.